I truly hope you catch this message before they contact you, before a text pops up, before their call displays on your phone, or before they go through with whatever courage they've been gathering. You need to grasp a crucial reality before you send any reply. I am not sharing this to cause panic. I am telling you this because I have witnessed this scenario unfold countless times, and there is a very particular approach required if you wish to achieve the resolution you quietly desire. Please hold off on answering until you have heard this entirely. I genuinely mean that. Whatever overwhelming urge you feel to text back the moment they reach out, take a moment. Sit with that feeling for a bit. Allow yourself to fully experience it. Then set your phone aside and deeply reflect on what is truly taking place. Can we have a completely candid conversation? I have noticed this tension building up over time, and there are truths you genuinely deserve to hear. Here is the core of it. You likely believe you already know how this will unfold. You have probably spent countless hours playing out different possibilities in your mind. You have visualized this interaction so often that it feels almost real. However, the actual reality will look far different from your expectations. There is a surprise element here that standard perspectives often overlook when caught up in the moment. This unexpected element is not what you assume. It is not simply the fact that they will get in touch. You likely already have a feeling about that happening. Nor is it about them delivering an unexpected statement. The shift is actually centered entirely on you. It is about the internal change within you the moment they make contact. I sincerely hope this reaches you prior to that instant. I want you to absorb this concept with me. Allow me to uncover what has been occurring beneath the surface, while your mind has been overwhelmed with thoughts. You have spent so much time questioning everything. A persistent doubt has been occupying your thoughts continuously. Are you still on their mind? Do they long for your presence? Did any part of what you shared carry real weight for them? I am here to reassure you that your instincts have been accurate all along. You noticed a subtle dynamic change because it actually happened. This is not a figment of your thoughts. It is far beyond hopeful imagination. Real internal movement has been occurring on their end. Yet this is the aspect that rarely gets discussed. It is the critical detail that alters your perspective once comprehended. The individual you are considering is locked in an internal conflict, though not the kind you envision. You likely imagine they are completely composed. You might think they move with total confidence, clear on their desires and boundaries. That is the misconception you must abandon, as they are actually far more anxious than you are at present. They carry greater doubt. They experience deeper fear. I realize that may seem hard to believe. Considering their past actions and the moments they appeared distant or cold, accepting their vulnerability feels improbable. Nevertheless, that is precisely the reality. Let me describe the internal state they are experiencing. They have spent a long time hiding behind a mask of indifference. They have maintained a carefully staged act. They present themselves as resilient and moved on, projecting an image that the relationship caused them no lasting impact. Maintaining that illusion is incredibly draining. Carrying such a pretense over weeks, months, or even years takes a heavy toll. With each passing day, upholding that illusion becomes increasingly difficult. Small fractures in their composure form continuously. These breakdowns happen during vulnerable hours, particularly at night, when silence leaves them without distractions. That is when suppressed emotions flood back into their awareness. They lie awake, repeatedly reviewing every detail, every dialogue, shared moment, and regret. Loops continuously in their thoughts, like an endless film. Reflect on your final face-to-face interaction. They constantly replay spoken words, unspoken feelings, and better choices they could have made. This inner turmoil remains hidden from the outside world. You will not see this shared on social media or discussed with their peers. It is a deeply personal, late-night reality concealed from everyone else. What makes this scenario particularly fascinating is their surprise. They never anticipated these feelings would persist. They genuinely assumed they would move past it smoothly. They believed time would naturally erode memories until you were no longer their initial thought each morning. Instead, the complete opposite occurred. Distance has only heightened their longing. Their emotional attachment has deepened. Recollections have become far more vivid. The sense of your absence has grown overwhelming, leaving them utterly bewildered. They constantly wonder about the root cause. Why are they unable to simply move forward? Why do you continuously occupy their thoughts? What drives this persistence? Just as they convince themselves they are over it, a simple reminder resurfaces every feeling. It helps to comprehend their current daily experience. Subtle triggers hit them unexpectedly with profound emotional weight. A familiar melody will catch them by surprise. Passing a location you once shared will bring back memories. Noticing something that matches your sense of humor brings instant recall. In those brief instances, the pain of lost connection crashes down anew. It blindsides them because they assumed their emotions were muted. They believed that chapter was entirely closed. In reality, the bond was never genuinely concluded. It was merely paused. Unfinished emotional matters always demand closure eventually. Furthermore, an additional factor is currently at play. A recent development has heightened the necessity of the situation. A noticeable change has occurred recently. A specific event brought these buried feelings straight to the top. Perhaps a recent visual cue unlocked a strong memory. Or perhaps you appeared in one of their dreams. A casual mention of your name in conversation might have sparked it. Alternatively, they may be sensing that you are slipping away for good this time. That sobering realization of permanent loss acts as the main catalyst for their unexpressed feelings. Previously, they operated under the assumption that you would always remain available. They assumed future chances and moments would always exist. That assumption provided them with a misplaced sense of comfort. It justified keeping distance, convinced they could return whenever convenient. However, that comfortable assumption has completely vanished. Losing that security profoundly unsettles a person. It unnerves them because they must confront the reality of losing you permanently. The thought that you are no longer waiting and have truly progressed terrifies them. Confronting that outcome fills them with genuine fear. Now let us address the upcoming events, as that is likely your primary focus. You seek clarity on future developments. You want to confirm if outreach will genuinely happen. You want a strategy for how to respond if it occurs. I am going to share the absolute reality with you. Prepare yourself mentally for these next insights. Contact is definitely on the horizon. The signs are unmistakable. Pressure has been mounting over time. It resembles a growing momentum gathering force as it moves. Starting imperceptibly, it gradually picks up speed. By the time it becomes visible, stopping it is impossible. That exact dynamic is occurring right now. Internal motivation has been growing within them. They regularly contemplate initiating contact. Drafts of messages are constantly formulated in their thoughts. They envision various ways the interaction might play out. They are actively searching for the bravery needed to reach out. They are nearing the threshold where remaining silent becomes far more painful than reaching out. This brings us to the crucial shift. Pay close attention to this specific point. Their eventual message will not take the form you anticipate. Do not expect a grand emotional confession right away. They will not lay all their feelings bare right out of the gate. Emotional dynamics rarely work like that. Individuals who have hidden their emotions long-term rarely reveal everything simultaneously. They will proceed cautiously to gauge your reaction. Their initial message will be subtle and guarded. They want to confirm your willingness to converse before risking vulnerability. An overly eager or immediate response without self-worth will cause them to pull back, resetting the entire cycle. Hold back on replying until you absorb this message fully. I genuinely emphasize this point. No matter what message arrives or how it is phrased, avoid an instant response. Do not signal that you are anticipating their arrival. Hide any indication that they have dominated your thoughts. I recognize the difficulty in exercising such restraint. The urge to reply instantly upon seeing their notification is powerful. Yet the ultimate trajectory hinges entirely on your initial reaction. Let me share an honest perspective with you. They will analyze your reply with extreme scrutiny. Every phrase you choose will be examined for deeper meaning. They will seek confirmation of your lingering interest, availability, and patience. Providing those reassurances right away will offer them instant relief. That much is certain. However, it will not inspire true personal change. They will simply feel reassured of their control, leaving the core dynamic completely unchanged. What is necessary is an unexpected response that truly grabs their attention. They must perceive that a genuine transformation has occurred in you. They need to see you are no longer passively waiting on them. Your personal growth and evolution should leave them questioning their position. Creating that sense of uncertainty is key. Uncertainty is the real driver of meaningful change. Absolute certainty encourages complacency. It makes it easy for others to take your presence for granted. True evolution cannot occur in an environment of total predictability. This is precisely where most people make mistakes. Indeed, they assume contact means immediately offering total acceptance. They feel compelled to demonstrate their longing. They attempt to remove all friction for the other person. I completely understand that reaction. It is a natural human inclination. You have spent time hoping for this outcome. You held on to this desire. You want the bond restored, yet rebuilding it meaningfully requires setting boundaries rather than making it effortless. You must establish that access to your life is not guaranteed. It is not something to be assumed. Far from it. Your presence must be earned through effort. I sense your anxiety regarding this step. You might fear that standing firm will alienate them. You worry they might lose heart, or that they might decide against proceeding. Trust the validity of this approach. A person sincerely invested in you will stay. This holds true consistently. Someone who truly regrets their actions and wants reconciliation will respect your request for a higher standard. Consider this carefully. In truth, high standards elevate your value in their eyes. It commands greater respect from them. It deepens their appreciation for who you are. Establishing clear expectations forces people to either rise to the occasion or remove themselves. Either outcome serves you well, as those who walk away demonstrate they were unfit for your worth. And if they make the effort, you receive a version of them capable of genuine commitment. Let us examine a deeper layer you may have overlooked. The individual reaching out carries a real fear of being ignored. Allow me to clarify. That is the hidden anxiety they carry. They dread the possibility that you have moved on, forgotten the bond, or stopped caring. That fear accumulates over time until it compels them to initiate contact. Yet here is the critical point. They must experience that discomfort briefly. This is not out of malice. Experiencing the weight of potentially losing you is necessary to inspire genuine behavioral change. That exact realization will motivate them to approach you differently now. You must fully grasp their internal state. Regret has been weighing heavily on them. They harbor deep remorse for failing to choose you sooner, retreating due to fear, taking bad advice and causing harm to someone who truly valued them. That remorse builds like pressure behind a barrier. Each recollection increases that force. Every reminder of what was forfeited heightens the tension. Every solitary evening intensifies the weight. Eventually, that structure gives way. That accumulated force demands release. That release ultimately expresses itself as outreach. Here is the vital detail to remember. If you respond immediately with eager anticipation, you relieve all their built-up tension too quickly. They will experience instant comfort. However, comfort does not equal genuine growth. Quick relief simply encourages a return to past behaviors. It permits them to undervalue you again, assuming you will tolerate minimal effort. Your goal is not to grant easy comfort. Instead, give them space to confront their past actions, recognize what they lost, and realize what changes are required. Therefore, refrain from replying until you have absorbed this entire message. I cannot stress this strongly enough. Though you might want to rush through or seek quick summaries, the subtleties hold the true key. The fine details determine the outcome. The situation is multi-layered, requiring you to absorb every dimension so your mindset is properly aligned. Everything rests on your personal posture. You must step forward fully aware of your value. Know your worth not merely as a concept, but as a deep, undeniable internal certainty. Absolutely. Consider a deeply personal truth about human connections. When someone loses a person who truly cared, the sense of loss extends far beyond the individual. They long for the rare sensation of being fully understood. They miss being accepted without judgment. They grieve the version of themselves that only emerged in your presence. That specific loss consumes them from within. They miss the self they experienced alongside you. They miss the emotional safety your presence provided. They miss the potential you inspired within them. Holding the key to that experience gives you profound influence. Now let us address what preparation truly entails, specifically regarding the central twist discussed throughout. It requires adopting the proper mindset. This key twist does not revolve around them. It centers completely on your own evolution. You have directed so much energy toward their potential reach out and feelings that you overlooked your own internal development. You spent time expecting them to transform. You waited for them to grasp the magnitude of their loss. You anticipated them finally meeting your expectations. In doing so, you inadvertently paused your own personal progress. Indeed, the true revelation is that the version of yourself forged during this waiting period is not who you want to present when contact occurs. You unconsciously constructed defensive barriers. Your protective measures inadvertently shut out genuine intimacy. Fear of emotional injury led you to guard yourself against the vulnerability authentic connection demands. Failing to resolve this beforehand risks unintentionally damaging the potential opportunity. Let us be straightforward about an uncomfortable reality. The current approach is simply ineffective. Continuously waiting, overanalyzing minor details, and scrutinizing their online activity yields no positive result. Constantly checking your phone creates exhaustion. Revisiting past conversations offers no forward movement. Dwelling on former times keeps you anchored to the past. This loop traps you in an unproductive state. Remaining static takes a heavy toll. It consumes both emotional and physical vitality. Most critically, it prevents you from fully engaging with your present life. Precisely, consider this foundational truth. Vitality and enthusiasm are naturally magnetic. Active, forward-moving individuals draw others in. People connect with those actively growing, building, and evolving. Remaining trapped in a holding pattern stifles those vibrant qualities. It reduces your state to passive anticipation. Passivity holds no magnetic pull. Merely waiting fails to inspire attraction. It renders you effectively invisible, as projecting an energy tethered to the past fails to draw anyone forward. That is a hard truth. Should contact occur, as seems likely, your response must stem from personal momentum, progress, and the fresh identity you have cultivated since their departure. Respond as an individual actively advancing through life, rather than one frozen in place. That posture transforms the entire dynamic. They will immediately register that shift. They will perceive that you have truly changed. They will recognize that the past version of you is no longer who stands before them. That realization forces them to take you seriously. It compels them to elevate their approach, understanding that engaging with this evolved version of you demands their own growth. The person preparing to contact you has likely been quietly observing your life more frequently than you realize. Whether via social platforms, shared acquaintances, or subtle inquiries, they see someone standing strong, thriving, and fully intact. That observation carries immense weight. It evokes a mixture of mild frustration and deep fascination within them. It unsettles them to see you are no longer suspended in expectation. Yet seeing your independence makes you remarkably compelling. Demonstrating self-sufficiency is uniquely attractive because it proves autonomy. It confirms your completeness, and whole individuals build the healthiest relationships. Let me speak directly and honestly. Having navigated this journey independently for so long, you may underappreciate your own resilience. You have borne this heavy emotional load. You managed persistent ambiguity. You processed confusion, pain, and letdowns. Yet you remain standing. You have endured. Your heart remains receptive to meaningful love. You retain faith in genuine connection. That reflects profound character, not vulnerability. It represents true inner fortitude. It is the exact kind of strength required, a strength that alters outcomes meaningfully. Reflecting on the person you anticipate hearing from, their absence from your life means missing out on incredible value. They will inevitably recognize everything they forfeited once dialogue resumes. Hearing your voice or reading your words will reignite that familiar magnetism. Yet my main focus rests entirely on you. You have been unconsciously equipping yourself for this exact situation. Choosing emotional recovery over rumination built your character. Choosing personal evolution over self-pity and persevering through difficulty strengthened you. All of those choices served as preparation. Now the climax approaches. The surrounding dynamics are transforming. Progress is gaining momentum. The prolonged quiet is near its end. You must be prepared in the most meaningful way, not merely prepared for immediate reconciliation, nor focused solely on plotting future moves. Prepared to hold firm in your personal truth, ready to articulate your boundaries clearly, committed to demanding the respect you merit, secure in the knowledge that your well-being remains intact, regardless of the outcome. After all, you have conclusively shown you thrive on your own. To reiterate, hold back on responding until absorbing this entire message, as a crucial point remains. It is vital to realize that their initial point of contact may take an unexpected form. It may lack grand theatrical flair. It might not be a deep emotional message. It could manifest as a simple query, brief comment, or casual link. Lacking focus might cause you to overlook its significance. You might dismiss it as irrelevant. That would be an oversight, because individuals withholding feelings long-term typically make modest initial overtures. It serves as a tentative probe. It is executed carefully. They are assessing your receptivity, making your handling of that minor gesture paramount. Responding with excessive excitement halts their progress, as it eliminates any need for them to earn your favor. Conversely, an overly cold response shuts them down due to fear of rejection. However, offering balanced warmth, grounded composure, and self-assuredness creates space for authentic, meaningful progress. My hope is that you navigate this with clear intent, grounded purpose, and complete awareness. Having carried the emotional torch for so long, you maintain the possibility of restoration. Your persistence is admirable, though undeniably burdensome. You deserve relief from carrying that burden. Set it down, not by abandoning hope, but by relinquishing rigid expectations. Trust that whatever unfolds aligns with your best outcome. Rest in knowing you demonstrated openness and effort. The responsibility now rests on them. I sincerely hope this reaches you prior to their contact. These insights are specifically tailored for your current situation. They speak to the person about to receive that notification. They are meant for the individual who will feel a surge of emotion upon seeing their name. They support the version of you determined to handle this correctly. You are fully capable of doing so. You possess everything needed. You simply must anchor yourself in your true identity. Recall the trials you have successfully overcome. Honor your immense progress and act accordingly. Proceed from a foundation of quiet confidence and proven resilience. This entire experience has served as a test. The journey has refined your character. It has equipped you for a greater purpose. Perhaps that purpose is a renewed relationship. Perhaps it is definitive closure bringing lasting peace. Or perhaps it is simply the deep assurance that you will flourish regardless. Regardless of the specific resolution, you are prepared. You are equipped for incoming contact. You can handle the impending dialogue. You are ready for the breaking of the silence. When that moment arrives, these principles will return to you. I trust you will keep them in mind. You will honor the vital pause. You will resist the urge to answer right away. You will operate from grounded strength rather than anxiety. You will respond differently than in the past because you have evolved. You have matured significantly. You have become an individual who understands their worth, acts accordingly, and demands proper respect. Hold fast to that awareness. Internalize this truth. Neither you nor the person initiating contact are the same individuals as before. Life experiences have shaped both of you in the interim. Time has provided both parties with perspective. Opportunities for personal growth have occurred for both. Consequently, the upcoming dialogue will take a fundamentally new form. It will take place between two transformed individuals. Two people who carry new wisdom, clearer perspective, and potential readiness for genuine connection. You must remain prepared for every possible outcome. Do not focus exclusively on an ideal, seamless scenario. Prepare yourself equally for a situation where their outreach falls short. Be ready for missteps, inadequate growth on their part, or continued unreadiness. Clarity on handling disappointment is just as vital as knowing how to navigate success. Finally, recognize what you already possess inside. You already understand your essential needs. You are well aware of the standard you deserve. You know precisely what behaviors you will no longer tolerate. The period of waiting, hoping, and hardship forged those insights. That personal clarity represents the true benefit of your experience. You now possess clarity on what truly matters. You recognize authentic value. You understand the non-negotiables required for any sustainable relationship. While you believed you were waiting for their message, the true wait was to discover your own strength when that moment arrived. The person who responds with poise, strength, and self-awareness is who has emerged. That is the individual you have become, equipped to navigate whatever follows. Thus, when contact happens, and it will, you will be fully prepared. Your readiness stems not from scripted answers, but from rock-solid self-knowledge. That core clarity transforms the whole situation. It shapes your tone. It alters how you absorb their words. It guides your posture throughout the interaction. Most critically, it redefines what standards you accept. I genuinely hope this message reaches you in time, because when that moment arrives, remembering your worth is vital. Keep in mind everything you have successfully overcome. Honor the resilience that brought you to this point. Hold on to genuine trust. Trust fully that your well-being is secure, as you have already demonstrated your ability to thrive independently. You survived the most challenging phases, the waiting, doubt, and ambiguity, and remained whole. Your fundamental integrity remains complete. Your capacity to offer and receive love is intact. Your hope remains vibrant. That strength does not evaporate simply because contact occurs. Prepare yourself. Prepare for the upcoming shift. Ready yourself for the pivotal moment ahead. Remember that their words are secondary in importance. Your identity upon receiving their message is what matters most. You are a person worthy of intentional choice, someone who deserves dedicated pursuit, someone entitled to love on their own terms, unwilling to settle for less. That is your true identity. That is the person stepping into this upcoming conversation. Please delay any response until you deeply absorb these truths. Wait until this confidence settles completely within you, ensuring a transformed response that changes the outcome. I assure you of that outcome. The true plot twist was that your personal evolution was the intended outcome all along. That shift completely alters the dynamic, creating a foundation for authentic, viable connection, regardless of the final form. You possess everything required. You truly are ready. Absolutely. Having endured so much while remaining resilient, hopeful, and faithful speaks volumes. That inner posture will make all the difference. It will attract them and inspire them to show up properly. That is what will foster a genuine foundation this time around. Trust your instincts, honor your growth, lean into your accumulated strength, and step confidently into what lies ahead.